My name is Amy, this is The Opinionated Woman, and welcome to my weekly vlogs, and also, happy Valentine's Day, if that's something that you guys give a shit about. I can take or leave Valentine's Day. I'm not too over the top when I have a relationship, and I'm not uber duper sad when I don't, so it's all good, but happy Valentine's Day nonetheless. It is the beginning of a good new week, hopefully. My tattoo has now got its cover off, so she looks real pretty and so clean and crispy, which means I can get back to exercising again. This morning I didn't exercise because I started off my morning by taking my dad and my stepmother to the airport. So they're safely on their way to Joburg by now, or they will be. Yeah, they will be in the next like 20 minutes. So over the weekend, I finished reading case histories, which I really didn't expect. Let me sit outside while I chat to you. Because my family was here, I didn't expect to have time to read it, but I did. And I enjoyed it, but it's definitely the one Kate Atkinson I've liked the least, probably. I feel like there was a lot of different mysteries all in one, and they didn't go in depth. Like, there wasn't a lot, he didn't do a lot of sleuthing, didn't do a lot of investigating for a private investigator, in my opinion. And there were like multiple other different like mysteries that sort of like popped in, I think, that I mentioned in my last vlog, that were like different case histories. And I don't know why they decided to pick so many, why she decided to pick so many for one book. I feel like if she'd picked two, or maybe just focused on the main one and done a lot more in depth, it would have been a lot more interesting, maybe. But I'm definitely going to read the next one in the series, because it is the first book in a series, and it was written like in 2005. So, oh, by the way, there are so many slurs in this book. Like, it's meant to be like, you know, not the greatest people saying these slurs and stuff like that, but it is a white author, and a straight white author, and there are some like slurs in here that I was like, oh, okay, so trigger warning for that. But since this is the first book in a series, I do want to read the next one and see how it progresses. And then I'm also still reading She Who Became the Sun. At the end of last week's vlog, I said that I was really struggling with like battles and stuff like that, and this has got a lot of military strategy stuff in it. So like, as so many people have told me how good this is, and I really like the premise, and I do like the characters, but there's so much war and battle right now that I'm like, so it's just, and it's not the book, it's me. Now I know that I mean, I've known this for a bit, but I know that fantasies with battles and don't do that well for me. So I would just know that in future. But then, as a physical book, because I finished Kate Atkinson, I started Asking for It by Louise O'Neill. It's a YA contemporary about a girl who gets sexually assaulted, which I'm just going to say essayed, because it's can be triggering, and also it can get flagged on YouTube. So I'm only like 20 pages in, so I don't know what has happened from this so far. It's just set in Ireland, and there's this group of girls, and the main character's name is Emma. Yeah, she's a special one, beautiful, popular, and powerful, and she works hard to keep it that way until that night. So then we'll see from there. I think it's going to be quite heavy. Apparently it's very heavy and very beautiful. So yeah, I have a bit of work to do today, so I'm going to get on and do that. Oh, and put up this week's vlog. Yeah, professional. I'm sure I've mentioned on here, but the hairy armpits video that I posted last year, like at the end of the year, is my like most watched video by miles. Like miles and miles. Like, it used to be my Storygraph video, because Storygraph got onto both of the app stores, and or got onto all app stores, and then went #1 in a bunch of different countries. So I started getting so much traffic to my site, like compared to my usual traffic. I'm not talking big numbers here, I'm talking my big numbers. Yeah, that got a lot of traction because people were wanting to know how to switch their Goodreads over, which I thought they would, which is why I made the video. The hairy armpits video I just made on a whim, and I thought this is going to be a fun late bloomer lesbian video. And we are 78 views away from 10K. What the fuck? But it's just so funny to me that the video that really picked up is about my armpits. And there's one guy, he'll probably watch this, his name is Andreas, hello Andreas, who really likes my armpit hair, and he sends me messages every single time in, I think, Spanish? Anyway, I'm gonna get back to uploading the vlog. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna do too, and I'm gonna do a little bit of work on my own blog as well today, so I get a lot of work in. But I just finished watching a video and I wanted to go on here and be like, it's such a weird thing, right? Because I don't see myself, like, I will never carry a child. Like, the thought of being pregnant terrifies me. But if I ever ended up with a partner that wanted to carry, like, I'd be fine with being a parent, you know? And for some reason, I watch so many queer couples trying to get pregnant. So many, like, and ones that have got pregnant, successfully had pregnancies, some of them are on number 2. I just watch so many of them and I find them so addictive. Like, I'm probably not even ever going to be a parent, but goddamn, it's just really nice to watch. And like, it gets me really excited when I see people who have been trying for a really long time or have had miscarriages and things like that, and they finally get the baby. It just like warms my little heart. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to work on my serotonin and puppy pets vlog today, and then maybe have some time outside reading, asking for it. That would be lovely. But we'll see how I go. It is Tuesday. I have been out here, this is why I'm holding this like a knob. I've been out here reading Asking for It by Louise O'Neill. I am 100 pages from the end. Last night I managed to read, I carried on reading for like 2 hours, which was actually like, I kind of needed to get past the part in the book where it happens, where the assault happens. And I kept on reading and kept on reading, like it's really compelling. It's really compelling, but it's like, I like the way that Louise O'Neill has handled this. So I'm not sure if this is an own voices thing. I mean, I don't want her to have gone through something like that, but using the term asking for it as the title is, I think, really important, because this is a discussion that happens so much when it comes to our word culture. Is that, like, this character is very flirty, she's very popular, she is very mature for her age. She's 18, so when I say mature, I mean like they're going out, they're doing drugs, they are having sex. But then at this particular party, obviously she was not consenting, and the discussion around her right now, like it's like a year later now, like it jumps to a year later, and like the radio's talking about it, like a bunch of people talking about the specific case, and so many people are like, well, she dresses like a slut, she's always out there with boys, she's the one who took the drugs, she's the one who went to the room with them, you know, like trying to basically victim blaming. And she's also not a squeaky clean character. Like, she's judgy, she's a bit of a bitch, she's selfish, but all of these things are just to show she's a completely normal, flawed teenager. She's a flawed human being, and none of those things mean that she deserves to get what she got, you know? And I think Louise O'Neill handles that in a very good way. Another thing she handles very well is the trauma part of it. So she's now having to see a therapist, she's on medication, she's like really struggling mentally with what happened and getting out of the house and going to live her life as normal, and she's blaming herself for what happened. So it's really heart-wrenching. I think definitely huge trigger warnings for if you have if this kind of subject is difficult for you. It's not directly on page, but there are certain flashbacks kind of scenarios where you will see things happening that might trigger you. So just a big warning, but so far I think she's handled it really well, and I'm really interested to see how she ends it off. Yeah, very, very thoughtful, very, very sad. Alrighty, I just finished some errands and I've been listening to She Who Became the Sun. There's so much of this that's battle stuff now. Like, there's so many really good, like, little nuggets. Like when we're seeing Shu, which is her name, I keep forgetting to say, and Ma, who is the love interest, I guess. That's not really, like, if you know that there's sapphic fisting, you know that there's something like this is going to happen. So I don't think it's a spoiler. But I really like how Ma has seen herself and how Shu has also seen herself in a way. They've described her as being in between a man and a woman, some kind of unexplained to them in between the two. Now I see why Jessie had it on their non-binary book club, because Shu does, like, they use she, her pronouns for her, but she has lived her whole life as a man, so she does she toes this weird line in between the two, and I think she knows that, and other people can see it as well, like the only other person that knows about her. I would love if this story was more about Shu and Ma than it was different battles, different sides, different strategies, all of that kind of stuff. But I'm hoping you're going to get a little bit more of that before the end. But unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be carrying on this series because it is so war-based. War-based, just not my thing. I know I told you guys that I absolutely love taking book pictures. Well, I obviously for this vlog, I'm reading, asking for it. So when I have a vlog go up, I always have a corresponding Instagram picture going up. And I don't like them to be like throwaway pictures. I like them to be pretty. So I just took a picture of this. And I'm really limited with the amount of places in my house that I can take pictures of. Like, I need to get into the habit of, whenever I leave the house, take a book with me in case I find a spot where I can take a picture. I'll do that with my next one, because now I had a smart idea. Like, as you can see, very cool tone, very sad. And this brick of my bri is all black and dark. So putting them next to each other looks really cool. So I just took this really unsaturated looking picture of it, and it's pretty cool, pretty damn cool. I'm currently stalling because my laptop blue screened again. It's so fun. And I've actually got work to do. Like, I've got some work to do that I was halfway through, but luckily I work on Google Docs, so it saves as you go. It's just frustrating, you know. My other laptop, I've the repair place has had it for a month, and I have not got it back. So I feel like I'm never going to. Well. I swear, because I always come into these clips in the mornings, because I read and I have reading thoughts, so I always look like this. I'm in my workout clothes right now. I don't know why I just waked up my boobers, but I did, and I'm gonna go with it. I just finished asking for it, and there's so many points in this book where I'm going, because it's just so painful. And it's so hard hearing her go through these things. Like, Louise O'Neill does this great, she works through this stuff in a really great way, where she will put the thoughts in italics, and then the intrusive thoughts in italics, and then the internal thoughts and everything like that she'll just put as normal speech. So you really get an idea of those words like my fault, my fault, my fault, my fault, that are like repeated over and over in the text. Like, you know that's going on in her head, and that is like the internal battle that she's having, blaming herself for this happening, thinking she's going to ruin the lives of all these horrendous boys. And it ends in a way that is not wholly, it's a bit ambiguous, and I love an ambiguous ending. Though she did say in the afterword that a lot of people were annoyed about that it finished in this way. But personally, while I have the immense privilege of never having something like that happen to me, I have so many, like, it's actually absurd how many people I know in my real life who have been R-worded, and not one of them was reported or prosecuted or anything like that. And I mean, like, more that can fit on my two hands. It's just, it just makes me sad. It just makes me sad. And reading something like this, I didn't expect to get emotional. Reading something like this makes me think about what they must have gone through and things that they must think, and wonder what they feel now, basically. So this was a good book. But yeah, if it's making me emotional like this and I don't get triggered by stuff like this, just be very careful, please. But if you can, I would really pick it up. This book is really, really important. It's my sad morning musings for you. I'm sorry. God. Oh my god, my laptop's ready. I just got a message that said my laptop's ready. Ah! Like, literally, this dinosaur I'm working on, and I'm very grateful for this dinosaur. I'm very, very grateful for the dinosaur. But it's blue screened on me twice in the last 2 days, and I've been panicking that it's just gonna give up the ghost. I'm gonna go get it. Ta-da! Laptop! I'm so relieved. Oh my god. Just so relieved. Now I'm trying to find video editing software that's open source that I can use on a Mac, so I can transfer all of my work stuff over to just that laptop, because that Toshiba is gonna die for good one day. Very soon. I just want to show you which book I'm going to pick up this evening before the lighting goes, and that is Lighthouse Keeping by Jeanette Winterson. This is the last book in my library book haul, so I've got to go take these back, and then I'll pick another TBR from my shelves. I just know that Jeanette Winterson is amazing. That's all I've heard. She's queer, and apparently she writes magical realism a lot, but I don't know what this falls under. But apparently her writing is lyrical and stunning, and I'm like, it's written in little vignettes. Oh, you're speaking my language, Jeannie baby. So yeah, I'm excited to pick this one up, and I'm really hoping that on my other library travels I can find Oranges Are Not the Only Fruit, which is her memoir. But yeah, I will get. This is about a girl who gets taken in by a lighthouse keeper. That's all I know about it, but I will let you know as I go. Fucking hi! It's like 1:30 and I've not said hello to you today. I have mascara on, as you can tell, because my eyes look pretty. I filmed a video earlier. I have been working on my favorite client. Oh, sorry about that. Smart Art. I've been working on their article, and I've gone way too fast. Like, it's gone so quickly. I've already written like a third of it, and all of it's research and everything, and I keep on like nearly finishing it, but I can't look like I've rushed it, if that makes any sense. Like, I haven't rushed it, but I'm just gonna come at it with fresh eyes tomorrow, finish it off and send it off in the morning, and then it won't look like I've just shoved something together, even though they do like, see, this is all just me. They know, they like my work. They never give me revisions. They are like a big fan of me. They tell me, like, give me positive reinforcement all the time. It's just, for me, I'm like, oh, am I going too fast? Would another fresh set of eyes make this better? So that's what I'm doing. I also have life drawing today. So I said that I was going to do a day in the life of a freelancer the next time I did life drawing, but I'm going to do it the next time I do life drawing with Clarissa, which is the person that I did it with in my video, because I've seen her before. She's a woman. gotta be honest. And she like has a lot of social media and like streams the drawing sessions and stuff like that, like obviously not with me in the picture. So I'd much rather do that when I'm going to a class that I've already been to. This is my first time going to this class. My sibling sent me a photograph of a flyer looking for life drawing models, and I messaged the guy. He said, well, I am looking for like a variety of different people, so I'll add you to my list. He's like, but if I do have a cancellation on Thursday, will you be available? And I said yes. So I'm going to do life drawing again. I have been posing just like, so what am I going to do? What do you want to stand? What am I going to do when I sit? What am I going to do? The thing is with holding these poses is you have a long time to think of the next pose. So like I'll be in one pose and then be like, okay, next I'm going to be sitting. So what should I do? And then I'll just move straight into that pose. It looks like I know what the fuck I'm doing, which I suppose I do. What was the other one thing I wanted to tell you about before I let you go? I have been reading Lighthouse Keeping. I'm like a good third of the way in. It's really, really great and atmospheric. It's about this girl. She lives in this crazy topsy-turvy house that her and her mother lived in, that was like embedded in the side of a cliff. So like you couldn't have anything with peas or anything like that, because it like everything was so slanted it would roll off. Her mother dies and like basically sacrifices herself to save her, and she ends up going to apprentice for this blind lighthouse keeper, and he's telling her stories, and he says he's teaching her to keep the light as well as teaching her to tell the stories that people are going to want her to tell them, because they are the lighthouse keeper stories. It's really atmospheric. It's just written beautifully. I can tell why so many people speak about Jeanette Winterson's writing. Yeah, it's not one of those books that's plot heavy, not at all. It's about the tales that he tells of the sea and of life in the lighthouse. And he tells these stories that are from the past, but he tells them like he was there. And then she says, but you weren't there, you're not old enough. And he was like, no, but there's always been a Pew, that's her surname, Pew, in the lighthouse. And she's like, but not you, because you're too young. And he just sort of like fobs it off. So I don't know whether that's going to be something later, but I'll see. Anyway, I'm going to get back to editing. Good slightly late morning, everyone. My eyes are shiny because I just yawned, because I've had a late one today, because I obviously got in later last night, because my live drawing session was from 6 until 8. My mascara from yesterday's video is everywhere. But I got in later, so the session was from 6 until 8, and then I got paid in cash, so I was like, okay, some of this is going right in my petrol tank. So I put some in my petrol, and then I got home, and because like I didn't want to eat before the session, because then I was going to be like bloated and full of food and be standing in front of these people butt ass naked. So I ate when I got home, and then obviously like there's digestion time, so I watched YouTube and I read my book. But yeah, I woke up absolutely exhausted. Like posing is painful, if you guys didn't know. It's really like holding one pose for 20 minutes, like things start hurting. Like my legs were hurting, my abs were going, my arms were so sore. So yeah, I can feel in my arm right now that it's hurting for me to hold up this phone. But yeah, I just want to update you, let you know how it went. Oh, that's something I needed to tell you. So I'm posing, right? So we started off with a couple of 1-minute poses, like to get their hands going. And those are really easy to pose, and I can put my arms up and stuff, and I can stand. And then I'm doing a 10-minute pose, which is also like not too bad. 20 minutes is the longest pose I do. So I do a 10-minute pose, and this guy asks his friend for a ruler. I mean, for a sharpener. And I looked up at him and I was like, oh my god, I know him. I mean, this group was like majority men, But it was a very nice vibe. Their kid was there. Like the kid went off to have bath time when they did the drawing and everything. You know, and the guy's wife was there and everything. So it was like a really chilled environment. And then the guys were really sweet. And the house was beautiful, and I was like, oh my god, this is so stunning. And then I realized when I realized I knew that guy, I studied architecture with him at Wits in Joburg. And then he's like, oh yeah, I'm here with my boss. Turns out it was like a room full of architects. And they'd advertised for a model at the university, so they thought that I was studying. Turns out I'm just a failed architect in a room full of successful ones. And when I say failed architect, like I did my first 3 years of the degree, and then I worked as an architectural technologist for 2 years because I really didn't like it at all. So yeah, I went up to him and I was like, I think we went to varsity together, because like when I went to varsity with him, I had hardly any tattoos. I was super straight. I had long hair. So yeah, he was like, oh, okay, shit, I didn't recognize you. And like, yeah. So that was funny. Life drawing class, lols. I will update you on my books a little later. I'm going to read now. All right, friends, I am showered. I am yogaed. I am ready to work. I have an article to write for the March subscription box for Smart Art. I'll try and remember to link, Amy, while you're watching this and editing, go to your description box Word document, put in the Smart Art link, please. Okay. Because Smart Art is so much fun. I love writing the articles so much. They don't change my articles whatsoever. They do no revisions or anything like that. They just give me all this fucking praise, and I have so much fun writing their stuff. I post about it on my social medias. I share the blog post when it comes out on my stories and everything like that. They're just such a joy to work with. I just wanted to talk about You Became the Sun, because I listened to that there and back in like crazy traffic, going to the life drawing class. So it's my home. Going to the life drawing class, and there's an interaction between Ma and Shu, and Shu talks about her body in a way where she's like, how can this be a woman's body when I inhabit it and I am not a woman? So she's basically talking about, and I use she because they use she, because this is like set back in the day. I don't think they had, prominent use of they, them pronouns, even though gender neutral pronouns have been around for a long time. And just the discussion of her experience in her body and her life experiences living as a man, and that effect that it's had on her gender, is so fascinating. Like, so much of the war stuff and the strategy and this person betraying this person, like, as we've found out, that's not my vibe. So those parts I've kind of zoned out on. But what makes this book worth it for me is those little tidbits where Shu is talking about her experience within her own body. And I really appreciate those parts. So if you do like battles and stuff like that, totally read this book. Like, it's not like a lot of like in the battle, but there's a lot of like strategy around it and all of that kind of thing. So if that's what you like, please give this book a go. Alrighty, is it a vlog of mine if we are not on the beach at some point? I do not think so. So I've come to take my little pooch for a walk as usual, and in my trusty bag I have Lighthouse Keeping by Jeanette Winterston, because I think this is the perfect place. This is what I was saying about bringing books with me to take book pictures. This is a very pebbly beach on parts of it, so I'm going to try to find a nice pebbly part and take a picture with it, because it's got a seahorse on the front. And though it won't be the cover of this particular vlog, it will be a nice pretty Instagram picture. So yeah, I'm gonna go find that spot. I'll let you know when I find it. For a beach that's usually covered in rocks, there are no fucking like areas that are just pebbles at all today. Oh, what the hell? This is so bizarre. Anyway, I've come up with a new idea. I'm gonna let the surf break around my feet and I'm gonna take a picture with the surf in the backdrop. I think it's gonna look pretty cool. I'll show you the picture here. And go to my Instagram if you want to see other cute book pictures. But yeah, me and the boy, let me call him. Hugo! Yeah! Hello, boy! He always boops, and then he goes, what are you doing? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? He's a happy boy. Anyway, I'm gonna leave the vlog here. So if you did enjoy, please give me a like and maybe a subscribe and tickle my bell for notifications. I'll check you next one.